The Duke and Duchess of Hypocrisy are apparently outraged over Charles' Christmas snub. Well, isn't that rich? If anyone should feel insulted, it's the royal family. Greetings and a warm welcome to you all. As we know, Harry and Meghan were really hoping to come for Christmas at Sandringham. They probably needed to get more footage to sell to Netflix and were planning to wear their most covert recording devices. But unfortunately, the king didn't allow them to come. And so now, according to Star magazine, Harry and Meghan are furious over Charles' Christmas insult. You can see it right there on the cover. So let's examine what they're so upset about and why they think they have any right whatsoever to be angry at Charles. So I guess this is all about the king. The fact that Andrew and Fergie were permitted to come along to join the family for the Christmas festivities, while Harry and Meghan had to stay home and celebrate with Doria in Montecito. We still haven't heard exactly what went down on Christmas Day for Harry and Meghan. I do hope we find out someday though, because I'm sure it will either be a ridiculously exaggerated description of events, or an honest account of how pathetic and sad it really was. So we've got the headline, Harry and Meghan, the final affront. While Harry and Meghan are having a grand old time, Harry and Meghan are living it up. While Harry and Meghan are placed on the royal naughty list, Black Sheep Prince Andrew and his ex, Sarah Ferguson, are welcomed back into the fold. Now we've still got to remember that despite everything, Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson did not vilify the royal family in the same manner as Harry and Meghan. Now if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I'm not really Prince Andrew's biggest fan. I think he's a creep and a pervert. Through his behavior, he's shown that he's morally bankrupt, and I certainly believe he's taken advantage of younger women on occasion. But at the same time, even though he's brought tremendous shame upon his family, he hasn't publicly torn them down the way Harry and Meghan have. So I can understand why he is still accepted by the family while Harry and Meghan are not. And as for Fergie, well, first of all, she's had an extremely difficult year. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. And although she has made a bit of a fool of Andrew publicly, she has always been quite respectful towards King Charles, and also Queen Elizabeth when she was alive. As I see it, Fergie and Andrew's personal issues make headlines, which makes the rest of the family look bad by association. But they haven't ever really gone out and said so many negative things about the family like Harry and Meghan have. And to his credit, Prince Andrew has been punished for his misdeeds. He is no longer a working royal. He is barred from serving the monarchy in any official role. Basically he's still part of the family, but that's it. He's supposed to keep quiet. He's supposed to stay out of the spotlight and lay low. I also believe King Charles is a very forgiving man. After all, in his Christmas address he said, "I pray that we can also do all in our power to protect one another." He encouraged all of us to imagine ourselves in our neighbor's shoes and seek their good as we would our own. So it makes perfect sense that he would forgive his brother Prince Andrew for the mistakes he made in the past, and also pardon Fergie for her transgressions and allow them to join the family for Christmas festivities. And there's another thing, I believe the king is willing to forgive Harry and Meghan, or at least Harry. Meghan probably not, she's never going to change. But Harry has to take the first step. He has to show remorse. He needs to demonstrate that he's ready to change direction. I think Andrew has done just that. We don't know what kinds of private conversations King Charles and Prince Andrew have had. I'm sure they've worked things out, and really, that's none of our business. But apparently, Harry and Meghan didn't appreciate King Charles' gesture of goodwill toward his brother Prince Andrew. Apparently, they were incensed. According to an insider who spoke with Star magazine, people are seeing it as yet another slap in the face to the Sussexes. And Harry would have to agree. They were the only family members not included. Well, I wonder why that is. That's the crazy thing to me about Harry and Meghan. Are they really that oblivious and delusional? How can they not see there's a massive difference between their behavior and Prince Andrew's? Now, Prince Andrew undoubtedly has some unsavory tendencies, no question. He's made some truly dreadful choices in Friends, and he also needs to learn self-control. But even so, what Harry and Meghan have done is far worse. Andrew was just lusting after some teenagers. Harry and Meghan have tried to single-handedly dismantle the monarchy. Well, according to the insider, it was just too much for Harry. Harry finds it irritating that Andrew and Fergie get to join the family at church. Andrew because of his connections with Jeffrey Epstein, and Fergie because she hasn't been part of the royal family for quite some time. Again, Harry seems to be missing the point. And let's remember that Endgame, Omid Scobie's book that absolutely eviscerated Catherine and also said some horrible things about King Charles and Prince William too, was published just weeks before Christmas. As if Spare wasn't damaging enough, Endgame really crossed a line. And nobody believes their story that Harry and Meghan weren't involved. It has their fingerprints all over it. There is so much insider information in that book, especially about the late Queen's passing and funeral. There's no way Omid Scobie could have gotten that intel unless it came from Harry. Even if indirectly, even if Harry told a friend who then told Omid Scobie, it still traces back to Harry. According to Star magazine, William was also not thrilled about Andrew being included for Christmas festivities. Per the insider, William has long been the voice of caution and tried to convince Charles to be careful where Andrew is concerned. I could see that being accurate. William, I think, is worried about the future of the monarchy. He doesn't want the family embroiled in any more scandals, understandably so. It does not reflect well on the royals that Andrew was named on the list of people closely linked to Jeffrey Epstein. That's the list that just came out recently. The insider said Andrew doesn't seem to think he's done anything wrong, which to me means either that Andrew is so entitled he believes he can do whatever he wants with impunity, or it could indicate Andrew is being used as a scapegoat, being thrown under the bus to protect more influential people. I think that's plausible, but either way, I understand where William is coming from. The optics are certainly not beneficial for the royals. However, this was not a public event. It was a private family gathering on Christmas, for heaven's sake. And when it comes down to it, I'm just not convinced the people of the UK and the Commonwealth have the right to decree that the king cannot include his own brother in family celebrations. Nobody is talking about reinstating Andrew as a working royal. If that were to happen, then yes, absolutely the public would have grounds to object. But including him in private family events, I'm not so sure there's an issue with that. And honestly, Harry should see it as a positive sign, an indication that there could be a way back for him too. Maybe if he can make amends with his father the king, he'll also get an invitation to Christmas with the family again. And there's a reason I said make peace with his father, King Charles. I don't think William is going to be open to forgiving Harry anytime soon. But as long as King Charles is still alive, he's the patriarch. I would assume he has more influence than William over who is welcome at Christmas gatherings. I would guess the king also carefully considered Harry and Meghan's motivations for wanting to come versus Andrew's reasons. Harry and Meghan are trying to rehabilitate their image. They want back into the family fold because they failed in the US. As the insider points out, they're desperate for a comeback after a rocky 2022. They want to present themselves as straightforward and focused on their work, end quote. So okay, their reason for wanting to join the royals for Christmas is to make themselves look good. Is that grounds for the king to invite them? I don't believe so. What do you think about this report that Harry and Meghan were outraged and felt insulted by King Charles' lack of an invitation? Did they have any right to feel that way? Please share your thoughts below in the comments section. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with anyone else who might appreciate it too. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any updates. I want to thank you sincerely for tuning in and wish you a wonderful rest of your day. I'll be back soon with more videos. Happy New Year 2024!